ओके, तो स्टार्ट करते हैं। लास्ट पार्ट है, उसके बाद फिर ये चैप्टर डन हो जाएगा, मार्केटिंग भी। तो पार्ट भी पूरा हो जाएगा। ओके, यहाँ तक पढ़ दिया था, अब पब्लिसिटी से पढ़ना था। ठीक है, पब्लिसिटी लास्ट टॉपिक है। ठीक है, पब्लिसिटी, पब्लिक रिलेशन, ये सारे मीडिया वीडिया के साथ अच्छे रिलेशंस और ये सब था। ठीक है, 20 मिनट लगेंगे, चैप्टर डन है। Publicity is similar to advertising in the sense that it is a non-personal form of communication. बस अपनी रेपुटेशन बनाकर रखना, उसे पब्लिसिटी कह देंगे। However, as against advertising, it is non-paid form of communication. Publicity generally takes place when favorable news is presented in the mass media about a product or service. For example, if a manufacturer achieve a breakthrough by developing a car engine which runs on the water instead of petrol, and this news is covered by television or radio or newspaper in the form of news item, it would be termed as publicity, because the engine manufactured would benefit from such a dissemination of information about its achievement by media, but would not bear any cost for the same. Thus, the two important features of publicity are that publicity is an unpaid form of communication. It does not involve any direct expenditure by marketing firm. ठीक है, पब्लिसिटी जो होता है वो पेड फॉर्म नहीं होता, वो अपने आप ही हो जाता है। ठीक है, there is no identified sponsor for the communication as the message goes as a news item. In publicity, as the information is disseminated by an independent source, example, the press in the form of news story and features the message, has more credibility than if that comes as a sponsored message in advertising. Also, as the message goes in the form of news rather than direct sales communication, it can reach even those person who otherwise may not pay attention to paid communication. ठीक है, ये उनके पास भी चली जाती है जो पेड फॉर्म ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन नहीं करते, उनके पास भी चली जाती है। So, however, an important limitation of publicity is that as a medium of promotion, it is not within the control of marketing firm. The media would cover only those prices or pieces of information which are newsworthy and which symbolize some achievement in the field. Thus, a firm cannot use publicity to actively promote its product. ठीक है, मतलब अपने प्रोडक्ट को प्रमोट करने के लिए हम पब्लिसिटी यूज नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि न्यूज वाले वही चीज दिखाएंगे जो कंटेंट बिल्डअप कर रही हो। जो कंटेंट बिल्डअप नहीं करेगी, न्यूज वाले उसे नहीं दिखाएंगे। पब्लिक रिलेशन, managing public opinion of an organization is an important task which can be performed by marketing department. The business needs to be communicated effectively to customer, suppliers and dealers, since they are instrumental in increasing the sales and profit. Beside those who come into direct contact with the organization or its product, so there are other members of general public whose voice and opinion is equally important. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर द बिजनेस नीड्स टू कम्युनिकेट इफेक्टिवली टू कस्टमर, सप्लायर एंड डीलर, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ जो उसके आसपास लोग रहते हैं या जो आसपास जिस कम्युनिटी से वो डील कर रहा है, उनसे भी उसको अच्छे रिलेशन बिल्डअप करके रखने हैं। Public may be interested in company and its product and have an impact on the business ability to achieve its objective. Thus, it becomes imperative to manage public opinion and the company's relation with the public on regular basis. Therefore, public relation involve a variety of programs designed to promote or protect a company image and its individual product in the eyes of the public. So the business relates with a number of groups, including supplier, shareholder, intermediary, activist group, and the government. For example, active support of middleman is needed if the firm wants to survive in a competitive selling environment. तो क्या बोला है, active support of middleman is needed if the firm wants to survive in a competitive setting environment. Similarly, consumer activists need to be satisfied because they can impose restriction on the sales of firm's product directly by urging customer to refrain from buying or through the imposition of law. Most organization, business or otherwise nowadays have a separate department to manage public relation. They may also utilize the service of any outside public relation agency. ठीक है, या तो मैनेजिंग पब्लिक रिलेशन के लिए उन्होंने डिपार्टमेंट बिल्डअप किया होता है जो हमारे आउटसाइडर रिलेशंस को देख रहा होता है, या फिर उन्होंने अलग से ही हायर किया होता है किसी बंदे को जो हमारा ओवरऑल देख रहा होता है कि पब्लिक रिलेशन हमारा कैसा चल रहा है. So the main task is to disseminate information and build goodwill about the business. Concrete steps are to be taken. Monitor the attitude of the general public and generate positive publicity. They are especially useful when there is a negative publicity about the company or its product. जैसे मैगी के साथ हुआ था नेस्ले के साथ, तो नेस्ले ने क्या किया था, अपने पुराने एडवर्टाइजमेंट दिखाने स्टार्ट कर दिए थे जिससे कि एक रिलेशन बिल्डअप हो जाए और बैक टू पवेलियन जो विश्वास होता है वो फिर से आ जाए. तो टाइम सिचुएशन हैज टू बी टेकल्ड लिटिल like an emergency to improve the public image. So the public relation department then has to do something drastic so that damage to companies' image is controlled and minimized. So they also advise top management to adopt certain programs which will add to their public image and ensure that negative publicity does not take place at all. तो role of public relation सबसे पहला आता है. The role of public relation can be discussed with the respect to the function with the department perform. Public relation itself is an important tool in the hands of marketing department, which can be used to advantage the business. The public relation department performs the 5 function. सबसे पहला आता है प्रेस रिलेशन. ठीक है, प्रेस रिलेशन मतलब मीडिया के साथ अच्छे रिलेशन. तो इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नीड्स टू बी प्रेजेंटेड इन पॉजिटिव मैनर in the press. Generating news require skill in developing and researching a story, and getting media to accept press release is a difficult task. So the public relation department is in contact with the media to present true facts and a correct picture about the company. Otherwise, news can get distorted if taken from other sources. ठीक है, तो प्रेस रिलेशन का मतलब क्या है कि जो इंफॉर्मेशन जो है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का वो प्रेस में आए. ठीक है, generating news require skill in developing and researching a story, and getting the media to accept press release is a difficult task. So the public relation department is in contact with the media to present true facts and a correct picture about the company. Otherwise, news can get distorted, taken from the other sources. Product publicity. New product required special efforts to publicize them, and the company has sponsored such program. So the public relation department manages sponsoring such events. The company can draw attention to new product by arranging sports and cultural events like news conferences, seminars, exhibitions, etc. तो पहला क्या हो गया आपका प्रेस रिलेशन. दूसरा क्या हो गया आपका प्रोडक्ट पब्लिसिटी. अगर कोई नया प्रोडक्ट निकाल रहे हो तो उस पर स्पेशल एफर्ट चाहिए होते हैं जिससे कि सामने वाला खरीदे. Corporate communication. So the image of the organization needs to be promoted through communicating with the public and the employees within the organization. This is usually done with the help of newsletter, annual report, brochure, articles, and audio-visual material. So companies rely on these materials to reach and influence their target markets. Target market speeches by the company's executive at the meeting of trade association or trade fairs can really boost the company image. Even interviews with TV channel and responding to queries from media go a long way in promoting public relation. ठीक है, तो corporate communication जो seminars होते हैं ये सारी चीजें जरूरी होती है. फिर lobbying. The organization has to deal with government officials and different ministers in charge to corporate affairs, industry, finance with respect to policies relating to business and the economy. So the government also seeks maintain a healthy relationship, association of commerce and industry, and solicits the opinion of major stakeholder while formulating industrial, telecom, taxation policy. So the public relation department then has to really proactive in promoting the decoding regulation that affect them. ठीक है, तो लॉबिंग भी जरूरी होती है क्योंकि जो पॉलिसीज बना रहे होते हैं गवर्नमेंट वाले, वो जो पॉलिसीज बना रहे होते हैं कंपनीज वाले, वो गवर्नमेंट बना रही होती है, तो गवर्नमेंट से भी रिलेशन जरूरी होते हैं. काउंसलिंग. द पब्लिक रिलेशन डिपार्टमेंट एडवाइजेस द मैनेजमेंट on a general issue which affect the public and the position of the company would like to the take on particular issue. So the company can build goodwill by contributing money and time on certain cause like environment, wildlife, children rights, education, etc. Such cause related activity help in promoting public relation and building goodwill. In addition to maintaining good public relation, also help in achieving the following marketing objectives. सबसे पहला आता है building awareness. Public relation department can place stories and dramatize the product in the media. This will build marketplace excitement before product reaches the market or media advertising take place. This usually creates favorable impression on the target customer. तो building awareness और वो कैसे कर सकते हो वो depend कर तो in addition to maintaining good public relation also help in achieving following marketing objective. Building awareness, public relation department can place stories and dramatize the product in the media जैसे सैमसंग करता है. उसके बाद building credibility, if the news about a product comes in the media whether print or electronic, it always lends credibility and people believe in the product since it is in a news. Stimulate sales force, ठीक है, क्योंकि sales बढ़ेगी. It becomes easier for the sales force to deal with the retailer and convince dealer if they have already heard about the product in the news before it is launched. Retailer and dealer also feel it easier to sell the product to the ultimate consumer. Lower promotional cost, ठीक है, अगर believe ही नहीं करेगा तो फिर कोई लेगा नहीं product. Maintaining good public relation cost much less than the advertising and direct mail. However, it requires a lot of communication and impersonal skill to convince the media to give space or time for the organization and its product. The difference between advertising and personal selling. Advertising is an impersonal form of communication. Personal selling is the personal form of communication. Advertising involves transmission of standardized message कि जो एक बन गया वहीं जाएगा. That is same message is sent to all customer in a market segment. In personal selling, the sales talk is adjusted keeping view of customer background and needs. Advertising is inflexible as the message can be adjusted to needs of the buyer. Personal selling is highly flexible as the message can be adjusted. It reaches masses, that is large number of people can be approached. Only limited number of people can be contacted because of time and cost consideration. It advertising, the cost per person reach is very low and the cost per person is quite high. The case of personal selling, advertising can cover the market in a short time. Personal selling effort take a lot of time to cover the entire market. Advertising make use of advertising makes use of mass media such as television, radio, newspaper, and magazine. Personal selling make use of sales staff, which has limited reach. Advertising lacks direct feedback. Marketing research efforts are needed to judge customer reaction on advertising. Personal selling provide direct and immediate feedback. Salesperson come to know about the customer reaction immediately. Advertising is more useful in creating and building interest of the customer in the firm's product. Personal selling plays important role at the awareness stage of decision making. Advertising is more useful in marketing to ultimate consumer who are large in number. Personal selling is more helpful in selling product to the industrial buyers or intermediaries such as dealers and retailer who are relatively few in numbers. Okay, हो गया ये chapter. Nokia 4 lane road to consumer. New Delhi, after having a grabbed king size 79% share of 15,000 crores mobile handset market in India, Nokia India has found a new way of connecting people. The mobile handset manufacturer embarked upon a brand new retail strategy that is based on a classification of its consumers into 4 major groups that separates people in terms of uses, income level, and lifestyle. So the classification is based on the extensive survey, the Nokia segment study that was carried over 2 years involving 42,000 consumers from 16 countries. It studied the impact lifestyle choices and attitude have been mobile device consumer buy and how they use. The strategy, which was announced globally in June last year, is being unfold in India now. While the 90 gravity of the new strategies being worked out, it is likely that the company would follow separate marketing strategy for 4 different segments. The advertising campaign different for the segments. Nokia entire product portfolio has now been realigned towards these 4 groups to address the specific need of each. The first of these segments, live, aim at first-time users whose basic need is to stay in touch with the voice as the main driver, would have basic handsets low on features and price. These may be functional phone, but the target group of these range from SEC, socio-economic class, very high socio-economic class market, says Nokia India marketing head Devinder Kishore. The second segment connects looks at more evolved user who look for more functional features and connectivity. According to the phone in this segment will have GPRS कैमरा एंड म्यूजिक है. तो पहले वाला बस उनका प्राइमरी ऑब्जेक्टिव था कि उनका था कि बस वॉइस जाए, ठीक है. सेकेंडरी वाला क्या है कि कनेक्टिविटी रहे, ठीक है, कैमरा वैमरा रहे. The next 2 category achieve and explore are aim at high-end user and Nokia top handsets. Achieve segments look at enterprise users who need to have business functionality in their phone. Nokia E series has been put under this segment with handset having QWERTY keyboard and full internet capabilities. Aim at high-end lifestyle user, explore would be the most prominent segment for the company in the coming years, says Nokia India Multimedia Business Director Vineet Taneja. This segment would see the most vibrant growth in the coming year. It will look at 5 different area: application, imaging, mobile TV, music, gaming. We are fast developing ecosystem to support these area. Nokia acquired music solution and content provider Loud Eye GPS solution provider Gate 5. It is all slated to launch its high-profile handset, which boasts of having 5 megapixel camera and GPS capability. Apart from iPod quality music in February, says Taneja, there is increasing demand for coverage and multiple functionality in high-end handset. The N series will try to address that. Nokia feels that new platform strategy wherein different handsets are launched under the platform like N series will become a status and life segment and driver rumors. तो उन्होंने 4 अलग-अलग सेगमेंट्स निकाले जिससे कि फायदा हो जाए. ओके, चैप्टर डन है.